Hello there, everybody. You know what time it is when you see just the cards and not me on camera. I am taping this on the morning of May 1st, where we have an incredibly powerful full moon in Scorpio. We know that when we get in Scorpio energy, it's time to get to the deep, 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 roots of an issue and a matter in a very sometimes emotional way, because it is water. So when I went to Spirit this morning, if you're new to my pick a card readings, I have not seen these cards. I cleanse the decks and I go in prayer and I ask Spirit for a message for you in any of the piles. Some of you gravitate to more than one. It's whatever your intuition leads you to. There's no right or wrong, right? But what I said was what's coming to the surface, because in full moon energy, typically we are trying to release something or recognizing something that's come to a fullness, right? The full moon. So in Scorpio, it's what's coming to the surface with that depth of energy that Scorpio brings, all right? So think about that. What's coming to your surface? What is your soul bringing to your awareness? What are you ready to really look at and examine and move on from, right? And it's deep. It's something, could be things that have gone on in your life for a really long time. Those deep, deep, deep issues or ideas or desires and goals and all of that, all right? So that said, let's go into the decks. Pile number 1, it will be for those of you who are drawn to this beautiful piece of Epidote. All right, pile number 1, Epidote. Pile number 2, those who are drawn to this beautiful crystal quartz cluster. That's pile number 2. All right, see how that pings your spirit. And finally, pile number 3, those of you who are drawn to the blue celestite. All right. And again, no right or wrong. Just take a moment. See what you're drawn to. You could, be more 2 piles. Some people just know exactly where they want to go. It could be 1, you zero right in on that. Some people get messages from all 3. So again, no right or wrong. All right. See what your soul pings, how your soul pings. So let's go get ready to go in and get your messages. All right. So those of you who are drawn to the Epidote, pile number 1, what's coming to the surface in this full moon in Scorpio? We start out with the Page of Wands, something inspirational, something perhaps that has been on the back burner, that your soul and in this full moon energy, you're starting to get ready to want to really move in on it. We have the King of Cups, something, again, this is mature energy. This feels like, for some of you, a restart or a refresh, because now you have the maturity and the knowledge. Notice that this is coming King of Cups, Scorpio, watery energy. So you're ready to bring it to life. Kings act, kings move, right? Masculine energy. So this could be where I feel like I want to, hold on. I'm going to bring the camera in a little closer. There we go. This could be where, again, this is something that you've had on your mind for some time, or something you've been working in or around for a long time, but now you're ready to take a fresh approach to it. You have the Lovers, Gemini energy that comes up for you. This is a decision that you're ready to make, because now you've got the knowledge and the maturity, and the emotional growth is also what Spirit is saying to me. The emotional growth to be ready to go at what this new dream is. This, take a risk, go for it. Feeling like you're ready to be revitalized, right? And look at this. I always use 2 tarot decks. And didn't Spirit double down for you on they call it King of Water here, but look, King of Cups twice. So a couple of things. Some of you may in fact be Scorpios or a water sign. That's certainly a factor here. But notice here, even in this deck, the King of Cups, but it comes water and fire, because remember, Scorpio is co-ruled by, Mars and Pluto, I believe. So there is Mars energy, there's fiery energy, king energy, ready to take action on a relationship, a partnership, a decision that you're finally ready to make, right? That's what's coming for you. That's what's rising to the surface in this full moon in Scorpio. Now, let's go in on your oracle cards. You've got the crystal spirit, vibration, frequency, and acceleration. And I love, even notice the color scheme in that, and you all were drawn to this epidote. You see that? So there's something here around the use of crystals that will help you right now, that will give you the motivation and I feel like for some of you, even with these two Kings of Cups, there may be a little bit of a cleansing to your spirit, almost like by using crystals, working with them, vibration, frequency, acceleration, going into that Page of Wands, acceleration. So your ability to move forward will definitely be helped right now through the use of crystals. I've got let it rain. Allowing what is, inevitability, and trust. Go for it right now. Your soul, pile number 1, this rising to the surface is a belief and a trust in something that you've known about for some time. This is mature energy. This is not a brand new idea, or this could be something that you've always wanted to do, a relationship that you've always wanted, a career goal, even personal growth, something that has been in the works for some time, and Spirit is saying now's the time, allowing what is, allowing the ideas, allowing the possibilities to really come to the surface, right? This is what's coming to the surface. There's strength and vulnerability for you. Take courage in allowing yourself to be seen, even in your most raw state. There's strength and vulnerability. That's really powerful, because what that says is, for some of you, there may have been a tendency you may have been in protective mode for some time, and now the ability to be seen, the willingness to be seen, the willingness to own up to and speak, Gemini energy, communication, Mercury, speak your feelings, believe in your desires, know that you're not perfect. This isn't about always, having doing everything the right way. That takes me back to that King of Cups, this maturity that you've gained in knowing, hey, sometimes it's okay to be vulnerable. Sometimes I am going to get it wrong. But what you've done is you've learned enough now that you're ready to let it rain. You're ready to bring it in. You're ready to be renewed. And it's almost Spirit is saying, like, come what may energy, right? You've got attraction. All right now. And the number 44, if that pings some of you, repeating numbers. So you've got attraction. There is in your energy field right now, there's something you're drawing to you. Let it rain. I mean, Spirit is ready to bring it into you. And that softening of this emotional availability is what Spirit is saying, right? What's rising to your surface is this emotional availability to pursue whatever it is, to change whatever it is, to hit restart if that's what you need to do. No excuses, because you are in a space of attracting what you need. And once again, they're showing me this sort of color. So even if you don't have or work with Epidote, something in the color green is coming up for you all very, very strongly. The healing rays of the color green. And as I said that, I looked down just now, and here comes some more. And this says soul family, happy reunions and support, and making order out of chaos. Look at that. I'm telling you that what's resurfacing for you, if you chose this pile, it's something that you had all along, pile number 1. This isn't a rebirth. This isn't like some new you. This is you connecting with people and places and things that always you knew were meant for you, that always seem to bring you joy, that always, Spirit just said, that may have always called you back to it. And that's why it's rising to the surface again, because it's always been there. And so this full moon in Scorpio is saying, you know that. And now, go ahead and let yourself attract it. Page of Wands, get ready to go for it. You've got patience that comes, inner peace and self-control. Take your time. And that goes to that emotional maturity in the King of Cups energy that we were talking about, right? I think you recognize that patience is your virtue, or a virtue that you have learned to cultivate. And you're willing to do more of it. You're not feeling a rush to make a decision, the lovers. Make a decision right now. Make a quick move. There's nothing rushed about this energy. This is more about let it come to you. Attraction, let it rain. You know, Spirit bringing it to you, and your trust that it is happening. This shift inside of you, this renewal of something that you've always wanted, knowing that you have your soul family with you, your spirits, your spirit guides, as well as your immediate family or those who have passed on. You know that you're not alone in this next phase of your lives. You have inner authority. Trust yourself, listen to your true self, and trauma versus guidance. That's that maturity again. Listening to yourself and knowing that by going through these experiences that may have made you feel vulnerable, you grew stronger. What happened? You know, we say it as a cliche, but cliches are what they are because there's truth to them. You are the person you are because of all of the things, you know, and what it's done is now it's got you to this place of this inner authority so that what rises to the surface doesn't rattle you. Instead, you look at it for what it is and you say, okay, I want this. In the past, maybe this has been an obstacle, or maybe I've been afraid, or maybe I feared rejection because there's something in that vulnerability. And now there's something in your approach that in this inner authority, you're like, hey, come what may, I know how to do this. I know who I am. I know what I deserve. And I know how to move. There's a real power in this. And it's not a soft power, but it is watery. It feels like Scorpio. Like you don't have to take a bullhorn and go out, you know, and shout to the world, look at me, look at who I am, really am, and what I'm about to do. You don't even have to do any of that. It's a really internal process that starts to show up patiently, you know, persistently, with a lot of strength. You have acceptance. You may be disappointed with a recent outcome, but remember, if one door closes, you're being redirected to the one that will soon open to your true soul path. There's that vulnerability again. And there is this incredible understanding that patience goes back to it. There's a recognition, okay, this is how my job, my health, my relationships, etc. This is how things have been going up until now, and I accept that. I can't change it. It's not meant for me to go back and change. But what is rising to the surface is understanding why. I get the impression, Spirit is saying here, pile, if you were drawn to this pile, there's a recognition that some of you are getting around why things had to go the way they did, even if it felt like it was a disappointing outcome or a disappointing situation. And it made you vulnerable, but that's how you became strong. That's how you find your inner authority, right? Because lo and behold, look at your next card, freedom. Freedom. The freedom to be yourself. The freedom to be your own authority, the freedom to move at your own pace. Like there's a real independent spirit here. The freedom to let what is meant for you come to you. You know, there's that saying, Spirit just reminded me, what is meant for you is yours, right? And nothing can take it from you. There's a freedom in that recognition. There's an emotional freedom in that recognition for you, pile number one. You have everything as a reflection. Hold up the energetic mirror. What do you need in your life that you're not currently getting? What do you need? That's what's coming to the surface. Notice even the depth of that watery, the depth of that energy visibly in that card. All right? So there's an acknowledgement of how you have handled things in the past, and the fact that you are now vulnerable to owning up. It's okay. I can do it a different way. I'm free. The reflection allows you to be free, because when you hold up the energetic mirror, you take your power back. It's not just about who did what in your life or how things that you wanted to go a certain way maybe went left or otherwise. It's not about the things that happened outside of you. And this is about owning the maturity in those King of Cups that came for you, the maturity that happened as a result of that, the acceptance of that, the patience in becoming who you really are. And then that is what attracts you, because you're not attracting or desiring based on your relationship to something else, a career goal, a relationship goal, trying to make someone else happy, family matters, all the things that we do that connect to what's outside of you. This is very much about your internal growth and your internal authority to then move forward and do what you want. A stone or a crystal that helps you right now, you got that crystal card in the start, is the lingam, power, creativity, and look, you got acceptance again. You see those keywords? A lingam stone will help you at this time, pile number one. You process what's coming to the surface is what you are still learning to accept about the past. It's a root chakra stone. It helps you get grounded in who you are, but you use that grounding to then create and feel more powerful in your own inner authority, in your own ability to go after what you want, not depending on anybody else's opinion, input, say so. And that's not to say you won't get it or don't need it, but ultimately your authority lies with you. That's what's coming to the surface for you in this full moon, pile number one, is your own inner authority and the maturity that you've gained, especially emotional maturity that you've gained in order to get ready to move on your next project, thing, person, self-growth, self-development. It now is that time for you. That's what's coming to the surface. All right. I hope that was helpful. That was really, really powerful. And it is very much like Scorpio energy, where there's this enormous reserves of power that don't always, Scorpio can be a little secretive. Don't always shout from the rooftops, but that makes it no less powerful. All right, moving on. Pile number two, those of you who were drawn to the quartz crystal cluster. Let's see, this full moon in Scorpio, what's rising to the surface for you? 7 of Swords you start out with. Okay. You're discovering either the deception around you or the deception within. Sometimes 7 of Swords can point to self-deception. And there's clarity. You were drawn to this quartz crystal. There's clarity around that. A lot of mental clarity around, like, take the glasses off. A lot of mental clarity around something that has deceived you or self-deception. And you've got the 5 of Pentacles. So this for me is pointing to some clarity that what's rising to the surface in this full moon in Scorpio is some clarity around who you can trust and what you can depend on. how you, there may be financial needs for some of you if you were drawn to this pile. And so there's some clarity around your spiritual set worthiness. There's some clarity around the fact that you do deserve more. That if you have believed that, for whatever reason, this doesn't work and that doesn't work and people disappoint, that there's a falsehood to that. That what's coming to the surface in this Scorpio energy, full moon in Scorpio, for you all is recognizing that that is not true, because look what comes. Oh my gosh, I have to pull the two of these together, because talk about like from top to bottom, you got both the sun and the moon, divine feminine, divine masculine, receiving and giving, male, female, what is hidden that comes to light, internal growth, external action. You see all of that, all those contrasts? Literally, your ideas around where you are right now are shifting. You just went from two energies of doubt and deception and trickery, and that leaves you feeling alone or without or deprived in some way, to two major arcana forces that bring it all, right? That bring it all. The high priestess with that moon energy. I'm sorry, I described this as the moon before. I'm sorry, because I was looking at the moon there, but it says the high priestess in this deck. But she is ruled by the moon, and this is a full moon in Scorpio. Look at that water. With that full moon there in the portal. So there is that moon divine feminine energy there, but I do need to highlight that is high priestess. So that is what is coming to light. That is some knowledge that spirit is saying, going back to your choice of a clear quartz, that's some knowledge that's coming to the surface for you all during this full moon, or at least that's available to you if you will pull it to the surface, because spirit is trying to shine a light on it in that sun. I mean, look how radiant this is and how it stands out compared here, right? It goes from being into the portal to right there in your face, where the light bulb comes on and you understand the degree to which you can or cannot trust what is going on around you, and the degree to which whatever is causing this Five of Pentacles, whether it's financial, health, feeling isolated, cut off, whatever that is, that's challenging energy. And spirit is saying it doesn't have to be that way. We're going to show you the way, but you got to go through the portal, right? The high priestess says you got to bring what you know from spirit into the light. She is the bridge between the seen and the unseen. And this is completely seen. You got it? Look, now we're going to your oracles. You've got the dolphin spirit that comes. Connection, harmony, and play. I think some of you may be, in fact, be feeling very, very isolated or shut out, not being able to fully trust those around you, sometimes doubting your own self and your own self-worth, your own worthiness. So you got this dolphin spirit that comes that says, hey, here's some connection for you, or you need connection, harmony, and play. That's what spirit wants you to go toward. That's what's rising to the surface. Even noticing the dolphins, water. That's what's rising to the surface. And it could even be for some of you that you've accepted being more to yourself, more closed off, more isolated, and yet subconsciously, deep down, what's rising to the surface is your need for connection, your need for, feeling more in harmony with others. You've got bounteous that comes up, generously given, relationships, and coming together. Look at that. Building on the dolphin and that connection that we just saw. So as this comes together, I'm going to double down on that. Some of you, again, these are general readings and may not apply to all, but some of you who were drawn to this pile are definitely, what's coming to the surface is recognizing that you need connection, period. And to the extent that that Seven of Swords is part of why you may be a little disconnected, is because you have felt a lack of trust, or you've been lied to or betrayed, or just everything seems so chaotic right now. You don't know who to trust, but Spirit is coming up and saying there's a bounty of people out there who might feel just the way you do. And that Sun is coming to offer you an opportunity to at least walk through the portal in that moon energy, that high priestess energy. Go toward it. Don't run from it. Don't shut yourself. Don't bundle up and close yourself off from it. Move toward it. Because look, here's your next card. Rebirth and renewal. You are emerging from this darkness transformed. The new version of you is waiting. I'm telling you, I'm always in awe of how this process works, because I don't see these cards. I look at the stones, I pray for you to get a message, but I don't know what's coming till I see it. Wow. A rebirth and renewal. I'm actually being led to put that over here next to that Five of Pentacles, because that's what's happening. A rebirth and a renewal. This period of time where you have felt cut off is not happening anymore for you, pile number 2. Oh, it doesn't have to. Of course, you always have freedom, free will. But energetically, what's rising to the surface is an acknowledgement that you need people. You need connections. You need to feel more connected in the world around you. And there are avenues to that. All right. You've got release. Release your fears. Release old ideas about, okay, fine, I need connection. Where do I go? Maybe there's only one way you've known to do it. Through church, through jobs, through family, through friends. Maybe there are some other avenues for you. And that's part of what you're going to explore at this time. Because this is releasing whatever has held you back from connecting, from feeling valued. And some of that I'm definitely getting for you. That part of what has held you back and made you go into that is because either resources, financial resources, you feel like you don't have the money or something to travel, health situation where that's held you back. Whatever the challenges are, there is a falseness to it in terms of why you may have felt it was permanent, or how do I even change it, where it starts to really take a grasp, right? And that's what's being released. You have Antakarana. I have no idea who that is, but it says crossing the rainbow bridge, resurrection and coming full circle. So here you have another message around, you just got this rebirth and renewal. I'm holding that name up in case you want to screenshot it. But there is for sure 100% an opportunity for you to release and get to the other side of something that allows you to connect with others. Coming full circle. This is a second chance. What's rising to the surface is really that resurrection with that rebirth and renewal. There's in that dolphin spirit, connection, harmony, play. There's so much here. And it is around relationships and coming together. There may be some mending that you have to do within yourself first before you're ready to reach out. Maybe that's what the release is about, but it is time for you, pile number 2. You have dissolved, release identity, and merge with source. That's your key. And that goes back to that energy in that high priestess moon energy. That's part of what's going on emotionally. That's part of that release as well that you got. Dissolving and releasing the fears, the tendency to rethink over and over again. Well, here's what happened in the past when I tried to connect with others, when I tried to open myself to have a relationship, when I tried to do this or that, start a business, when I tried this treatment for my health. That's what's dissolving and being released, because there is a rebirth and a renewal. There is a resurrection. And Spirit is saying bounteous. the opportunities for you to come together with those who are healing, with those who are positive, with those who will see your value and appreciate you for who you are. With that part of your body that is always trying to heal, your cells renewing, your heart beating, right? Your liver and kidneys trying to regenerate. Like, don't give up. Let those fears dissolve. That's what's coming to the surface, is recognizing this is not getting you where you want to go or where you deserve to go. You've got intuition. Connect to your soul and trust yourself and source. Intuition. Full moon, Scorpio, intuition. Listen to your voice, the voice that tells you what's possible, the voice that tells you you're worthy, the voice that tells you what you can believe in. And I get, for some of you, it's because you didn't do that in the past. And we've all done it. That's part of being human. Our hunches tell us one thing and we just go off and do something else, right? We've all done it. But right now, your intuition is very high. Pile number 2. Your intuition is very high. Between that high priestess, full of intuition, with that dolphin spirit, all this watery dolphin spirit, and here, that bounteous card, your intuition is very high right now. Please do listen to it. And if it nudges you, even if it feels uncomfortable, do it. At least consider it, all right? Gratitude. There's always something to be grateful for, even in the darkest of situations. Now is the time to recognize what is going well in your life and what you're thankful for, because we know how the mind works. I'm working with people right now on that, as a matter of fact. And it has so much to do with the frequency that we put out. When we focus on the things that we have and put things in a different light, that changes so much of what then starts to come toward us. Gratitude is such a powerful tool and weapon to counter that, to counter when we feel alone, when we feel deceived, when we don't even trust our own self. And that's where that intuition comes in, that rebirth of trusting yourself. Because you may have stuck your neck out on a limb a few times and it didn't pay off. And so then, of course, what do? Self-protection mode, all bundled up, self-protection mode. You know, put the glasses on so nobody really sees, right? Yeah, so that gratitude is what will help you. And here it comes, vitality. That's what awaits you. That's where you are. That's what's coming to the surface for you, is a renewed sense of vitality. The sun, full of vitality, full of life-giving energy. Vitality is what wants to come forward for you right now. That's what this full moon is trying to bring, and Scorpio is trying to really bring to the surface, is your vitality, your zest for life, your zest for connecting, your ability to use your intuition to lead you the right way, to dissolve and release everything that made you have to step back. Being grateful for an opportunity to shift it, turn it around, rebirth, renewal, right? That resurrection, vitality. You've got take responsibility for your life as a creative adventure. How can you live with more meaning, integrity, and truth? Notice, I want to hold that up, because that 7 of Swords is all about truth or not, right? Or the discovery of truth beyond deception. Look at that. What a beautiful image. Take responsibility for your life as a creative adventure. Those last 2 words, creative adventure. So going back to gratitude, being grateful for having an opportunity still, you're still here, you're still able, right? Vitality. To have the vitality, claim it, do whatever you got to do, shake it off, and take responsibility for your life as a creative adventure, not just reacting to a set of circumstances. We know there's a lot of playfulness. You got that going back to that dolphin spirit, and it came with harmony and play. And in the sun, even though this deck shows it as a light bulb, but we know the sun in traditionally in tarot will very often show a child on horseback, signaling play, right? Signaling the sun rules Leo. Leo is very much about play and playfulness and drama and vitality, right? That's it. Spirit saying take responsibility. Not saying you haven't, but shifting it and seeing your life as an adventure. And a stone that will help you do that right now is opalite. Psychic ability, transitions, and spirituality. Opalite. Transitions. This is a transformational full moon for you. 100%. This is really a transformational full moon for you. Pile number 2. Opalite will help you. Your spirituality, going back even to the high priestess and this intuition, your spirituality, if you really make a commitment to it, that's what's rising to the surface. Then that's what opens your gratitude. That's what opens your heart to feel that gratitude. That's what allows you to dissolve the stuff that no longer belongs, right? And opens up your psychic ability, because that is what's coming for you, ready for you. And if you have been fearing your gifts psychically in order to work with others or connect with others, that's what's coming to the surface as well. Because as you accept that about yourself, that you are gifted, that's what brings you renewal and vitality. All right, pile number 2. Wow, that was quite energetically, that was quite a reading. I'm interested to hear how that pinged. All right, and finally, pile number 3, those of you who were drawn to the Celestite. Let's see, this full moon in Scorpio. What's coming to the surface for you? The Fool. All right, now, something brand new, taking a chance. Ready to go in a different direction, ready to broach a new topic, subject, plan, project, self. You've got the 3 of Cups, celebrating. Maybe some of you, if you chose this, maybe you are about to do something that typically you wouldn't. Go on a date with meeting, strangers for celebrations, like meetups or something. Taking a trip to someplace you haven't done before. Just there's something new and exciting about this, and it leads to a lot of joy. You've got the 6 of Swords, definitely a journey. And I don't know if that's a literal journey for you or something that you're contemplating, but it's looking good, celebratory, and something that you have not done before. Something you may be considering, because that 6 of Swords is very often like where you're looking towards it or planning towards it. And you've got the Queen of Pentacles with the finances. So if some of you are trying to think of a new thing you want to do, a place you want to go, something you want to explore, a workshop or plan, just something different that involves other people and brings you joy, and you're trying to figure out how to move toward it. And if finances or ability to do it, the flow has been a question, then this full moon in Scorpio is bringing to the surface what you will need to figure out your way for how to make it happen. All right. You've got a Spirit Priestess, sovereignty, emissary, femininity. And I'm very drawn to, you were pulled to this very spiritual Celestite. So that's who you are. Male, female, doesn't matter. Gender doesn't matter. How you identify, it does not matter. Intimately or otherwise, does not matter. This is an energy. And what the priestess does always is be of service in the divine, to the divine. And also recognizing the sovereignty of the self in relation to the divine. That is so powerful. I love that for you. You have let it go. Release the past, forgive, soften, and move forward. Now's the time. Clear message from Spirit. Let it go. Let it go. And what helps you let it go is this thought of moving forward. Because I know we say that all the time. Just, move on, do the shadow work, get over it, heal yourselves, blah, blah. And like that is so much easier said than done, releasing the past. Okay, exactly how? Well, for you, I think the exactly how is by beginning to put together a plan that shifts your focus on something new. You can't continue to replay the tapes of the past if you're really energetically and emotionally and psychically occupied with what's to come. It's like you shift gears. You completely shift gears. And that's where the sovereignty and the spirit priestess comes in, because there's a discipline to mastering your mind, to forgive and soften and allow yourself, if there is a lot of anger built up in some of you from the past, or if you're feeling like really anxious, especially in connection with family or friends, that's where you're like, what's rising to the surface in this Scorpio full moon is you got to do this for yourself. You got to move on for yourself. The Fool very often is an energy that the prompt is there to try something different, but very often it is going over a cliff. It's something you haven't done before. And that can be a little challenging if you're the type of person that kind of wants everything plotted out, wants to have things kind of in place and know with some sort of certainty what's going to happen. And that's not what's happening here. It's sort of this reassurance. What you need is going to be provided for you. And there's almost an initiation, I'm going to call it, just because, that's my thing and my jam and one of my favorite things. but seriously, there's a new you. Bottom line, there's a new you. There's a new experience. There's a new way of being, sovereignty, emissary, and femininity. There's a new way of you walking in the world that's coming to light. And if you've already started this journey and you're wondering, can you continue it? The answer is yes. And stay keyed in on that 3 of Cups energy. You've got breaking karmic cycles, recognize repeating patterns, and take action to break generational wounds. Bam. Talk about, what's coming to the surface and anything that could be dealt with in Scorpio energy. This could, right? Breaking karmic cycles. In Scorpio energy, consider it done. For some of you, this is patterns that have presented themselves around your place with groups, with people, pursuing your dreams around joy. And what happens when you take a chance on something? The karmic cycle, why sometimes it didn't work, is because you did it, but you didn't completely believe in it. And generational wounding is that it wasn't even your fault, right? Many of us get programmed that, work is always going to be hard. Bills are always going to pile up. And it's, love, people always cheat. All of those tapes that run, good people, bad guys win, good people suffer. All of those tapes that play over and over. But for you, this Celestite, you chose this. You are definitely ready to enter some different territory right now. You have got resilience. All right? Use that. Own that. Remember, you got that sovereignty in that spirit priestess. Use that. I am resilient. I am able to take the past, let it go, like drop that doggone bag off your back. Right? Yes, I can carry it, but should I? Right? Should I? Maybe I can lighten it up and just take the stuff that I really need and let the other stuff go. There's a configuration that's happening for you all in this full moon in Scorpio. That's what's rising to the surface, is understanding what you carry and examining that so that you can know what to let it go, what to release, so that you can move forward a little lighter. That's part of the karma. The karma is what got built up on you. And whether that's responsibility, whether that's all the things that got built up over your life to the point where it started to feel normal, and you just grew accustomed to becoming resilient by adding more and more and more. That's what's coming to the surface, is the recognition of just how heavy that is. And so you may not have to dump it, but you need to take a good look at it and decide what's essential and what's not. You've got spirit guides that come for you, looking for signs, philosophical discussion, and supervision. A lot of spiritual growth happening there. What's rising to the surface is an opportunity for you to connect and mind you, as deeply spiritual as this is, and you got that spirit priestess as well. You see the connection? And notice that yin yang symbol in the middle there. Balance, divine harmony between yourself and others, male and female, balancing yourself, balancing the demands of life with the freedom of spiritual exploration. And that's what I think some of this is about. Like, really, some of you are truly craving more spiritually, rising into yourself spiritually. If you are thinking about taking a spiritual retreat or going with a friend or two and, having a ceremony, exploring more spiritually, 100% do it. Do it. You've got a sacred rest, retreat, balance, and restore. That's what you need. And that ties very well into that let it go. That's how you let it go. By literally devoting some time to it. By listening to teachers, by listening to music, by paying attention to the energy in nature. Just being away from your typical place. How you typically move in the world. That's that socialization part too, and celebratory part of it as well. And sacred rest. I just heard for some of you, like going to a sound therapy or sound bowl situation, something meditative. And meditative doesn't always have to mean sitting in one place and, trying to zen out. It could be walking meditation. It could be going for walks in nature, in a forest, along the beach, around a lake, anything that connects you to what is sacred. Spirit priestess, what is sacred? And this is how you connect. This is how you connect with your spirit guides and your higher self as a spirit guide. And that's what helps you know with certainty how to move forward. Okay? You have desire. Wow, I love this. Heart's true desire, gratitude, and address any inner blocks. Now that's why you need that sacred rest. Because you want to address the blocks so that you can let it go. Why do you always have to feel so responsible? Was there something you got? Talk about the karmic cycles. Did you get hit with a lot of responsibility you weren't ready for? Too soon, too young, too soon, right? All sorts of patterns. And so here, it's getting back in touch with your desires. And then the road to get there. Allowing yourself to take the adventure. There's the Fool. Take the adventure, take the journey to get there, to achieve your desires, to allow yourself to indulge in those desires, to become more. If this is to become a priestess or priest in your essence, in your vibration, in your frequency, feeling like you've elevated, feeling like you're really in touch with your spirit guides. And if that means working with someone, taking a class, becoming initiated into something that feels right for you, then that's where the risk, the Fool can feel risky, but look, 3 of Cups, it gives you this freedom. It gives you this sense of letting go of this. I mean, I can't, talk about a contrasting thing, letting go. You don't have to carry all of that. All right? You've got stuck in lack. You have all the resources you need to carry you through, whether it's financial, emotional, or physical limitations that you think you have. It is only ego-based fears taking over. Rein them in and don't give up. So here we got another angle on resilience. All right. And now we're also understanding why the Queen of Earth came with the financial abundance to do whatever it is that you are desiring. And the karmic cycles around lack. Spirit is like jamming on this one. Well, on all three, I'm just always in awe. But there you go. You're going to let go through this sovereignty of of recognizing yourself as a higher being, as a higher dimensional being. You know, spirit having a human experience. Yeah. So you're leaning in on that because that's what gets you out of lack. The sense of worthiness, the sense of knowing that your desires are achievable, that your desires are valid, and that the means to achieve it, to move toward it, is yours. You got to get some rest, and that gives you a different perspective of how to get there. That plugs you into your spiritual guidance so that you become your own sovereign. You become your sovereign self. And doggone if you didn't just get freshness. Am I reading that right? Yeah, freshness. Okay? Like complete reset. Reset, redo, take a chance, move on, show up for yourself. The number one. And we are in a year one. 2026 comes out to a 1. Numerics. This is your year. Reset, refresh. Time to go for your desires, and you get that by elevating, breaking that old karma, getting some rest, getting recharged, and learning what that is so that you get a brand new start. Freshness and the Fool. You have a great awakening. Walk in your truth. Stand firm in your light. How can you trust yourself more? Look at that. Walk in your truth. Stand firm in your light. That's you. That's how you get there. That's how you get there. You're ready to take a journey. This full moon in Scorpio is bringing to the surface your desires to have more and your belief that you can. Because I'm going back to that stuck in lack and that karmic, breaking the karmic cycles. Your belief that you can. And that's why you have to let it go and move forward. Forgive, soften, move forward. Because whatever these circumstances were that piled up on you and that fed into that karmic stuff, that's kept you stuck in lack of healthy relationships, lack of money, lack of feeling beautiful, feeling handsome, feeling worthy, lack of opportunities, lack. Freshness. Let's go for something different. All right. A stone that will help you is red beryl. Passion, balance, and strength. Red beryl is a stone that will help you. All right. Some energy. Talk about that freshness and resiliency. You just need that reset. So think about that as well. And if you don't have red beryl, any kind of energizing red root chakra, safety, money's come up a lot around you. All right. Lack, root chakra, do some root chakra work. All right. Pile number 3. Woo, that was good. That was good. I felt it. I felt it in my spirit. I hope you felt it as well. I'd love to get your feedback. Thank you so much, and I will talk to you a little bit later. Bye.